The story Maharaj was telling this morning?
What?
About the hunter.
Oh.
Did you hear that story?
Just a little bit.
Do you
remember?
Yeah, remember you heard that before, right?
Yeah.
It's a cool story, isn't it? Yeah, maybe later we'll talk about it more. Okay, so I wanted to go through this very beautiful song. This is the very last song of Saranagati by Srila Bhakti Thakur. And this song, it's called Srinam Mahatmya, the glories of the name. And as I remember this song, it was inspired because there was one occasion when this was in the end of the last period of Srila Bhakti Thakur's life, and he actually took Babaji. Previously he was this big government magistrate, and he was a family man. He had a number of children, and then in his last few years of life, he took Babaji, and he was living very, very simply. Gave up all his worldly connections, and there were some like high-class people in Calcutta. Maybe one of them was a barrister or something like that. They heard about this, how this like big government man, and it was a big deal. Bhakti Thakur was a big deal because this was at the time of the British rule. And they employed Bhaktivinoda. Like for them to employ an Indian, in the post that they gave him, it was like a very prestigious, and they really trusted him, and they really appreciated his service. So he really had like a very respected position. He was famous, to some degree. And so then the fact that he like gave up everything to live this very simple Babaji life, that was quite impressive, quite striking. And so there was a group of these educated young Calcutta men who heard about this, and they were very intrigued, and they went to visit him. And one of them, maybe he was Sundarananda Vidya Vinod. No. It was Ram Gopal. I think it was Ram Gopal Vidya Bhushan, who later, I believe he took initiation from Srila Sridhar Maharaj. No, from Saraswati Thakur. Must have been from Saraswati. Yeah, he took initiation. He was it was a few of them. And one of them, Ram Gopal Vijayabhushan, and he ended up doing quite a lot of like scholarly work for the Gaudiya Math. Yeah, he took initiation from Saraswati Thakur, and he did a lot of like Sanskrit work and things like that. He was very intelligent, very educated. But anyhow, so they were very curious about Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and they went to visit him. And when they met him, they asked him, "Please, can you tell us something about Krishna?" And just hearing that, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur entered this state of deep ecstasy. Just hearing the name of Krishna, it completely threw him, and he became very ecstatic and very emotional, and he began to show all of these divine symptoms, trembling and tears and hairs on end, and so, as I recall, this song, it's describing the effects of the holy name. For one who's purely chanting the name, it describes this intense, reaction to the name. And I believe it was inspired by that incident. And very, very nice song, and there's some important points here. And also, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he gives like a, what's the word? He discusses this song. He gives like an expanded purport to the song, which is in Search for Sri Krishna. And so that's also here, so it's very beautiful, and it will be nice to read that. And in this, it's the second verse, there's this very important point that's made, that it describes the process. This song, it describes this like ecstatic reaction, but also what's more significant for us is that it describes the real process by which the name will be revealed. In other words, that we receive the name, and then when the name is ready, the name will reveal himself, and the name will actually chant us, so to speak. Not that we can chant the name. In other words, it's not that the name is an object to us. Like, how can we chant the name? That makes the name something inferior to us. Actually, the name is super subjective to us. The name has us under his control. And so he describes this process that the name will enter the heart, and from the heart, forcefully from the tongue. Forcefully, the name will go from the heart, from the plane of our consciousness to our tongue, and we will uncontrollably chant. So this is an important point, because it's very common that we have a very materialistic conception of the name. That, I will chant so many rounds and I'll get everything, or I will, or people have like recordings of Maha Mantra that they'll listen to all day, and they have counters, how many names they're chanting, and all these crazy kind of things, because it's told everywhere, kirtan, kirtan, kirtan. But it's not that we can produce that name from our tongue. Our tongue is material. The name is spiritual. So we cannot produce that name with our tongue, and our ears, our material ears, cannot hear the pure name either. The name is something spiritual, and when the name wants to reveal himself, then he will reveal himself. There's no mathematics there, and there's no material vibration there. The name is existing in a higher spiritual plane. So this point it's a descending thing. It's all descending. So, through then of course the question that comes is, then what's the point of our chanting? The idea is not that when we're chanting, we're actually chanting. We won't have the arrogance to think that. But what we're doing is we're calling out to the name, and we're showing our trying mood to the name. We're calling to Shri Radha Krishna, please descend in your real form. I cannot chant your pure name. I'm not able to. But I'm praying to you, please come, please reveal yourself, please be merciful to me. So that's really the mood when we're chanting. Not that we can chant, but if they like, they may descend, they may reveal themselves to us. And also, in the beginning, the point is made that the name it doesn't directly say the Vaishnav, but it says here, the name enters through my ears. So, the point being that we will receive the name from a Vaishnav. The Vaishnav will give us the name. It's not something we'll conjure up ourselves, but we will receive that through the agency of a Vaishnav. Okay, so we can read through this. So this is the first verse. Krishna nam dode koto bol, Vishaya vasana nale, mur chitta sada jwale, ravi tapta madhu vumi sam, karna ranja pata diya, hridimaje praveshya, vadi shoy suda anupam. How much power does the name of Krishna possess? How powerful is this name? My heart always burns in the fire of mundane desire, just like a desert scorched by the blazing sun. This analogy is so powerful. Your heart is a desert, and your material desires are like the sun burning in that desert. The name enters the core of my heart through the gateway of my ears, parentheses, upon being transmitted to me by Sri Guru, and showers incomparable nectar. It's so beautiful. You're burning in the desert, and then some nectarian rain comes, the holy name, giving some relief. The first verse of Shikshashtakam, Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhavamaha Devagni Nirvapanam, also, Shreya Kairava Chanjika, of the suffering of this world is compared to a type of burning. You see this actually in other places in the scriptures, but where this material suffering is compared to this like heat, this intense heat, a type of burning. And so through the chanting in the first verse of Shikshashtakam, so through the chanting of the name, that is that burning, that forest fire of material suffering, it's all extinguished. And then the holy name there is compared to the cooling rays of the moon, the moonlight. So, and also in Samsaradava, it's difficult because that song, it's like ornamental Sanskrit, and it's kind of hard to grasp the individual words. But as I understand, the mercy of, in the first verse of Samsaradava, the mercy of Guru is compared to a rain cloud, which is, showering down, giving relief, giving nourishment to the fortunate souls. So we are burning in the desert, and the name gives this, incomparable relief in the form of, nectarian rain, a shower of nectar, like an oasis in the desert. And then this second verse, Hridaya hoite bole, jivar grete chole, shabda rupe nache anuka. Now this is this line, these two lines are very significant, and Gurudev we heard him quote this many times, that forcefully, it won't be something we can produce with our tongue, with our senses, but forcefully from the heart, the name of its own accord, the name with his own desire, will reach the plane of our tongue and forcefully make some vibration in the plane of sound. It won't be our own production, but with his own will, the name will reveal himself in the plane of sound. So Hridaya hoite bale, forcefully from the heart, jivar agrete chole, to the tongue, shabda rupe nache anukan, and then shabda rupe, in the form of sound, nache anukan, that name will dance, without stopping.
Nache means song?
Nache means dance. Like Doyal Nitai Chaitanya Bole Nachre Amar Man, that man is mind, nach is dance. We're saying, oh my minds, dance, Very beautiful sound. Oh, Doyal Nitai, Nitai Chaitanya Bole, chant the names of Nitai Chaitanya. Oh my mind, just dance, Nachre Amar Man. Oh my mind, just dance. And anukan means like at every moment, without stopping. So from the heart to the tongue, in the form of, and then on the tongue, that name will begin to dance. Kante mor bange swar, anga kape tar tar, stiro hoite na pare charam. Now the translation. Forcefully, the name moves from my heart to the tip of my tongue and continuously dances there in the form of sound. My voice falters in my throat. My body trembles violently and my legs become unable to remain steady. And then now the third verse, description of this ecstasy. Chakshe dada dehe garma pula kita sab charma vivarna hoilo kalevar morchita hoilo man pralayer agamam bhave sarva deha jar jar. Tears stream from my eyes. So this song, it's also kind of like a hammer to Sahajiyas. I mean, not kind of, it is, because they have the other idea that we will show all these bodily effects, and from that we'll be able to produce something. I mean, we all have this idea. The louder that you chant, the stronger that you hit the cartels, the more powerful it's going to be. That's a mental and physical, emotional thing. It's the other way around. Not that from the outside you'll go in, but rather from the inside it will come out. Like that, it will forcefully come out. It's not that we will produce it by our noise. And then all these symptoms, they will come, automatically and uncontrollably. Because so many persons, they would imitate this type of ecstasy. Tears stream from my eyes. Perspiration soaks my body. My hair stands on end. My complexion turns pale. My mind becomes dazed. A death-like state overtakes me, and my entire body becomes stunned with emotion. Kodi etta upadrava chitte varshe sudadrava more dade premere sagade kichu na bujite dila more ta batula koilo more chitta vitta sabhade. Yeah, because I was thinking, this does not sound desirable. Does not sound desirable, this condition, a death-like state. And I was thinking, one gentleman Srila Sridhar Maharaj met, and the man asked him, why are you promoting Lord Chaitanya? I've heard about what he went through, like he went through this intense condition, It doesn't look like something, like you hear some of the descriptions. I mean, it's describing the type of suffering, what you're hearing, blood pouring, foam, and his body taking on strange shapes. This is what you're idealizing. And this man, he asked Srila Sridhar Maharaj, this doesn't sound like a desirable thing, And then Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he quoted this famous verse. It's saying, how does it go? Krishna Prem Adbhuta Charit is the second line, and the first line. But saying that although it appears to be like one is suffering from the poison of a snake bite, internally one is experiencing the most intense type of nectar. So although it may appear to be a state of suffering there, and there is that element there, or like they say about chutney, right? It should be so hot that it's burning your tongue, but so sweet that you can't stop eating it, like that, There's this combined thing going on. So now this fourth verse, it's also answering that question. Loinu ashai jar heno vyavahar tar varni tena padi e sakal Krishna nam icha moy jahe jahe sukhi hoy say more suker sambal. Although making such severe disturbance externally, the name of Krishna showers nectar upon my heart. and submerges me in an ocean of prema. The name of Krishna has prevented me from understanding anything, made me a madman, and stolen my heart and wealth. Premer kalika nam adbut daser dam heno bolo koroye prakash ishat vikashi puna dekai nija rupa guna chitta hari loy Krishna pash. Oh, I think I skipped a verse. Okay. Such is the behavior of the name of whom I have taken shelter. I am not able to describe all of this. Howsoever the whimsical name of Krishna becomes pleased, that is my means of happiness, the basis of my endeavor to serve him. As a bud of the flower of prema, the name, the abode of wondrous rasa, manifests such power. Upon blossoming slightly further, the name shows me his personal form and qualities, steals my heart and takes me to the side of Krishna. Purna vikashita hoya, braje more jai loya, dekai more swarup vilas, more siddha deha diya, Krishna pashirake giya, e deher kode sarvanash. Upon fully blossoming, the name takes me to Braja and shows me his divine pastimes. He gives me an eternal body, keeps me by the side of Krishna, and completely destroys this material body, grants me supreme perfection. Krishna nam chintamani akila raser kani nitya mukta shuddha rasa moy. Namer balai jata sabloye hoy hata tabe mor suker udoy. The name of Krishna is the fulfiller of one's desires. He is a mine of all rasas. He is eternally liberated and an embodiment of spiritual rasa. If I die removing all offenses to the name from the hearts of the jivas, I will be happy. And this is the last verse. This expression of Bhakti Thakur, it's extremely magnanimous. He's saying, this name is so wonderful and so sweet. I want everybody to taste it. And even if I have to sacrifice my own life, in order for others to be able to taste it, then let it be, let me take on all the offenses. Let me suffer for all of the sins of all souls, so that they can taste this nectar. This is inconceivably magnanimous. Okay, and now I really would like to read. This is Srila Sridhar Maharaj giving like his like a translation of this song with his own, additions, some elaboration, and it's very, very beautiful. Very beautiful. Okay, so this is in Search for Sri Krishna. My heart is just like a desert, hot with the rays of the sun. This is my internal mental condition. The desire for mortal things cannot satisfy me because by nature they are death-producing. And not one or two, but thousands of such death-producing desires have taken shelter in my mind. So my subconscious region is always burning. This is my condition. But somehow, by the grace of Sadhu and Guru, the name of Krishna, with its infinite prospect, has entered through the holes of my ears and reached the plane of my heart. And there, with some peculiar hope, with infinite, auspicious possibilities, it touched my heart with a new kind of nectar. New hope is aroused by that sound. Then by force it comes from the heart towards the tongue. Not that by the endeavor of my tongue I am producing that sound. No. What came from the heart of a saint through my ear entered my heart, and that forcibly appeared upon my tongue and began to dance. That is the name proper. It descends from above. It cannot be produced by the material form of this tongue. Its source is above. And through an agent of the Absolute, it comes through the ear to the heart. From the heart, it gathers some sympathy. Then the name of Krishna forcibly appears on the tongue and begins to dance. With great force, it comes to the end of the tongue, and that sweet sound begins its dancing. The real effects of the divine name have been described here. If it is a living and real name, the voice will be choked up. There will be shivering in the body, and the legs will be unable to stand. Sometimes tears will flow in a current on the body, and one's hairs will stand on end. Sometimes changes of color will be found in the body, and we will be unable to find any trace of the mind or consciousness. We may fall in a swoon. The whole body and mind will appear as if it is being attacked, shivering, and influenced in different ways. Apparently, it may seem that so many troubles are created in the body and mind, but the real heart is overflowing with a particular kind of strange, sweet juice. At that point, Bhaktivinoda says, I am in an ocean of nectar. My whole existence is within an ocean of nectarian liquid. I am beside myself. I cannot understand where I am. Where am I? What is this? What is all about me? It has almost made me mad. Am I mad? Where is my past experience, my seriousness, my gravity? Where are they? What am I? I have been converted wholesale by a foreign thing. I am a doll in the hands of a great force, which is also so affectionate to me. I cannot ascertain how it is possible that by my faith I have entered this great, unknown environment, unexperienced before. And at last I find that I am captivated. My entire being, within and without, has been captured by a particular sweet force. I can't help being prey to such a sweet power. I can't give any proper description of this. I came to take shelter under him and accept him as my guardian. Now at his hand I am being dealt with in such a merciless and despotic way. Still, I feel that everything is very pleasing beyond my experience. What is this? I cannot resist any more. I am fully captured. Let my fate go anywhere. I cannot come out. I am a captive in the hand of a sweet friend. My whole independence is gone. There is no way left to me but to surrender. I am unable to describe my real position. I find that he is an autocrat. Whatever he likes, he will do. Since it is not possible for me to give any resistance, I must surrender. Let me also cooperate with whatever he is pleased to do. Otherwise, what can I do? I am helpless. Sometimes I find that the sweetness of the name is condensed like a blossoming flower, and very wonderful streams of sweet current are flowing from it. The name contains so many sweet, variegated forms of current within him, and he is wonderfully expressing himself in different ways. Sometimes he emanates a peculiar type of color and figure and disappears. So many charming aspects are shown as if to my eyes within, and he forcibly takes me to surrender at the foot of that altar. He shows himself in his full-fledged form in Vrindavan, in his Braja Leela with Radharani, and he takes me there. I find that I am in the midst of his peculiar, very sweet and loving paraphernalia. And he says, "You see, I have so many wonderful things. This is your home. I am not merely imagination, but concrete reality. You will find here that the environment is very favorable and sweet. You are to live here." I see there that he is dealing in different ways with his associates in different rasas. And I find that I have another body that has emerged from my previous one, and that has a permanent place here in his service. Such a new life I find here. And then I find ultimately that all consideration of my past life and experience has vanished. And it is true, my real life is here. This is proper and that was a sham. That life has vanished. Then I find that chanting the name gives me new encouragement, a new prospect, and new hope. Whatever we want, whatever is our internal demand, it is supplied by the name. If we take the name, all our internal hankerings will be fulfilled. It is eternal, it is the purest of the pure, and it is full of ecstasy. Now I find that I have been completely converted. Now my innermost hankering is this: let whatever is against this sweet name vanish eternally from the world. If anything is in opposition to this sweet life, let it vanish. And if necessary, I will give my life to make it disappear from the world forever. Then others will be able to enjoy it at their free will. No hindrance should come to that fulfillment of life. It has no parallel, no equal. It is second to nothing. So that everyone may come to this plane of realization, if necessary, I will sacrifice myself to finish any opposition, so that all can smoothly, peacefully, and without any danger enjoy this absolute, sweet, and blissful life. Wow, this is so beautiful. Amazing. And you see Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he's not just translating the song, but he's living this, He's living there and he's speaking from his direct experience of chanting the name. Such, we are attracted to such lower taste, in this world, but such high and fine taste, fulfillment is there in the name of Krishna. Okay. It's very inspiring. Jai Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Do you like to sing or not?
You and I funny.
Okay, if you say so.
Sorry? Do you want to cut?
Yeah, maybe some kartas. Dhanavad. Hari Haraya Namah Krishna Jadavaya Namaha. Hari Haraya Namah Krishna Jadavaya Namaha. Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Palabhata Dasara Gunata Echai Gosai Kodi Charana Vandana Jaha Hoite Bhignana Shabishta Purana Echai Gosai Jar Muita Dasa Dansa Bhada Pada Denu Mura Panchagrasa Sajara Charana Sebi Bhakta Sanibasa Janame Mohe Abhilasha Echai Gosai Jabe Braja Koilo Basa Shri Radha Krishna Nitya Leela Kodila Prakasha Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavana Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Bhajaya Mana Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Kodi Asha Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Kodi Asha Gurudev ki jai, Shri Guru Varanga Radha Giridhari Ju ki jai, Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. We're missing our camera lady. Do you know how to turn it off?
I don't know.
Okay. Radharani, are you there? Or
I think I still know. I just press one button is say start to stop.
Okay. Well, so nice to see you in that.
Yes, how are you?
Yeah,
How do you
everything's
feel?
okay. Yeah.
I just put the request of
you're gonna